Hello, thank you for tuning in and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I wanted to first thank everyone for watching and all of the views. I am very happy to have every one of you here, and I feel very fortunate to have a platform like this to share my experiences in my life, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. It's a great outlet, so I was just reflecting on that today because it was I guess I was just reflecting on a lot because it was my last day of therapy. Um, Last day of therapy. I don't even know where to begin, to be honest, but March marks 4 years that I've been in therapy. I started therapy in March of 2014. So, whoa, 4 years of therapy. Like, I feel batshit crazy. What was I doing in there for so long? I mean, when I went in, I never thought that it would be such a long process. I didn't even realize what the commitment would be like. But as the process went on, and I learned that I had to stay committed to see results and to really learn how to apply what I was learning in therapy. You know, I was just happy to, each time, it just reinforced me to keep going. So I almost lost what I was trying to say there. So, in this 4 years, I didn't have just one therapist. I had two, and the reason why I left my first one is because my first one left me. Not exactly me, but she left the firm that I was at, or the agency. She left the agency that I was working with, and I was then placed with a new therapist, and we actually got on just fine, not as well as the first one and I, but we were working together on kind of like on more of a short-term basis to kind of gauge where I was at, see what kind of needs I had for the future, meet those needs, and then move on, because my goal was to get out of therapy at that point when we met, and that was a year ago. So I was working for about 3 years with my first one. The purpose of this video is I want to share I'm just going to share that. I feel great about this therapy experience. The video is for people who are not sure whether they want to get into therapy, if therapy is, if it's a hoax, if it's right for them, what are the benefits, if there's any benefits of short-term or long-term therapy, and just like how it affected my life, some of the things that I got from it. So, and you don't need 4 years of therapy to get what I got from it, of course. I've had just like a lot of ups and downs, and learning how to manage my mood disorder and my life has been something that has kept me in therapy. It was just it just made for a much healthier life that I had someone to check in with every week or every other week, and it kept me accountable. So making appointments every week or 2 weeks, and then when I was phasing out every month, it was a way for me to keep in my routine of my balance and keeping my lifestyle healthy. So now, so what brought me into therapy, it was the first step I took in getting my life back on track in 2014, when I was just having a hard time just dealing with life in healthy ways. I didn't have any coping skills. I didn't know, I was abusing substances quite a bit, and, just like life was unmanageable. I was unwell. Things were starting to happen that were just racking up bad things. So I went into the therapy. Quickly after getting into therapy, I got set up with a psychiatrist, and which makes all the difference. Observing my behaviors, I was able to start making improvements on my life when I was treating my mood disorders properly. So everything was going on. I'm thinking, you go in, I'm depressed. So I got on my antidepressant, and then, with that, things kind of level out for a while. Then you start going up when you stop using substances. And then I'm just like, okay, you're a little bit manic. So, through that, I was able to get my my diagnosis. And so the bipolar diagnosis, when I was able to start treating that, it really started making a difference in where my mood was, how I was able to navigate, how I was able to like function or in my life. Like, so there I'm going through life. I'm now dealing with life as it happens. And in therapy, I am learning, I'm just gaining skills. You know, I'm checking in with someone. I have someone keeping track of my behavior. I have someone who is reinforcing my own, you know, reinforcing my own words and back at me, and and then just obviously the talk therapy is great. I did DBT, and I can make a separate video all about DBT, which is really, really great. So, I mean, here you have to like, it's different when you actually have to, like when you make a list, people say like make a list or, you know, write in a journal. And that's because, you know, taking it from your brain and actually putting it into words, or like, for example, with the therapist, you know, you say, well, what coping skills have you learned in therapy, for example, like that question. And you say, oh, well, like instead of, you know, I might call a friend if I'm having a really bad day, or I feel like things are beginning to unmanageable, I'm stressed, or I might go for a walk, or those things sound really simple that you would think about on your own, but then you write it down, you know, and then it changes things. You see it, it reminds you of it. It just makes it does something. It makes it real. When you have your therapist, you talk to your therapist, you know, they write things down. They make note of what they feel is important, because that might come back up again and they're able to give that back to you. And then you're, oh yeah, I remember. But so it's just really good to have someone help you keep track of your things. So over the few years, I've been getting like a lot better. And this year I felt like I was just, the last year of my life was fantastic. And I feel like I did not achieve complete mood stability over the year, but even though I was unhappy at times and I may have to make adjustments to my medication, I felt like it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It was a normal experience to be sad when something sad happens, and to be a little depressed and down when that's the case. So I was dealing with life. I was dealing with life as you should, you know. And once I got to the point of like dealing with life, I'm trying to find the words, like what I mean, like dealing with life positively. Even though you're not happy, you deal with it productively and assertively. You know, you still keep moving. You know, you might be sad, but you know, you get out of it. You know, you keep going. It doesn't debilitate you. So once I got to that point, I knew that I had met my goal being in therapy. And I'm with my therapist today, and we established this was going to be the exit interview. And, you know, it's hard saying goodbye to someone that knows so much about your life and that has helped you so tremendously get to that point in your life. So the relationship you have with your therapist is always going to be really special, and I'm very grateful for it. And I'm very grateful for this whole therapy experience, because not everybody gets it. So I find that it's important for people who do have the ability to do it to take advantage of it and make the most of it. And that way you're giving that back to the people around you, and you're just making a difference, right? Just through your mood. And my boyfriend told me, he said that he wants to see me happy. And when I'm happy, I make the world a better place. And I was like, oh, that's silly. You know, like I'm making, like, I just had such a grand view of like what that meant. And then he explained, you know, just like, if you're happy, you smile, you make a video, it might make someone feel good. Make your smile might make them smile. You're happy at work, and then that affects the people around you. And it's like a domino effect. It's like a ripple of a wave. And that's what therapy has done for me. It's made my impact, small or big, like it's made it positive, and it's made me a better person. So would I recommend therapy? Absolutely. And if you don't want to do therapy, I say give it a try. Keep an open mind. Always try something once. And don't force it if it's not your thing. Maybe it will never be. And maybe at another time it will be. Things find you at the right time when you need it. So with that being said, thank you for watching my video. I hope that hope that it was somewhat productive for you to watch, and I look forward to the next time. All right, bye bye, guys.